Okay, so I would like to present you very briefly a small collaboration with the research group of psychiatrists in the north of Spain. And we are working on Spanish explications of emotions for schizophrenics. Alina, could we please go to the next slide? Sorry, because I have a lot of slides, but I think I need it. Voices is the name of this program. The program they developed 3 years ago. And it all started in November 2019 when María Lado, she's a doctoral student in the neuroscience department of the University of Santiago de Compostela, Spain. She wrote to our dear Bert Peters, and she told him that she was working in this rehabilitation program, a rehabilitation program of prosodic abilities in people with schizophrenia. And could we go to the next line? Okay. Well, Maria said, we think that NSM could be a great way of clarifying complex mental states in an easy and comprehensible way for people with schizophrenia. The next line, you can read, schizophrenia symptoms include loss of interest in everyday social interactions and difficulty showing and understanding emotions. So the lexical of these words, emotional words, are very interesting for them. Here you can have a look to the emotional training. Yes, thank you, Alina. Emotional training, you can have a look to the web page, it's emotionaltraining.com, and they have a lot of interesting activities and pictures with the facial expression of each emotions, and a sort of mini series with videos with actors and actors representing the pragmatic situation of each emotion. It's very, very impressive, the webpage. And actually they had a lot of awards, and it's very, very well webpage, very well program, very good program, sorry. We can go to the next one. They asked me to write a sort of glossary, and in the next slide we can see they dedicate this glossary. They put the glossary in the program. So that's the point they demand. They need primes and molecules, meaning of these words written with explications. So I tried to do this task. It's apparently not so difficult, but at the end it was a bit difficult for me. Bert sent to Maria. In the next slide, we can have a look to one of the explications he sent to Maria is an explication of distressed of Isbiska and Jan Hein. And when I started working with this set of explications, I realized that it was difficult for me to get the word equivalent in Spanish. In the next slide, you can have a look to the next slide is, yeah, okay, afligido, apenado, that's my question. Thank you, Alina. The next slide, you can have a look to this information of the dictionary. Distressed, for instance, is supposed to be angustiado in Spanish, but in the other side, angustiado is supposed to be anxious, preoccupied, worried. So the question is, what is actually distressed for me if I want to work with this explication? So in the next slide, we can have a look to the I don't know what is the best translation. This is the problems of the dictionary, Spanish dictionary. We have a lot of circularity, angustia, what is angustia in Spanish for me? I don't know. Actually, I know that it could be understood as aflicción, but what is aflicción? It's supposed to be angustia. So it's a very, very clear example of circularity, not only in our dictionaries, but I think is also in our understanding of this complex emotion. It's very difficult to know at the end what does it mean exactly, angustia or aflicción. So that's the same situation with anxiety and angustia. It's absolutely circular, the explication. So what does it mean, angustia? That's the question. So in the next slide, I was trying to analyze the meaning. Okay, I can write something like this. Someone thinks something like this. A long time before, I was with people who are not. A long time before, I had things that I don't have anymore. After this, someone feels something very bad. This component could be useful for angustia, but for some other words, quite close. So I need to write something more. I need to reflect something more. And then if I go to the next slide, we can think on this component, Alina, morriña. This is one of the words close to angustia. No, not exactly to angustia, sorry. This is close to sadness. And I need the component birthplace probably for this word. And the next word is nostalgia. I need probably homeland or something like that. And the next word is añoranza. And I need probably situations, childhood, youth, close people for this word. And the next word is melancholia. And I probably need the components of situation, things, close people. So my first problem is I don't know what does it mean exactly in Spanish, each one of these words. All these words are very close. And the second problem is that so we need to work with collocations in order to know what is the meaning of each one of these words. And the next problem is that I need a lot of molecules that I don't have. So thank you, Alina. It's okay. It's okay. The next slide. So here it's an Spanish. It's not actually explication. At the end, I couldn't write explications. I just write some provisional definitions. And this is the one for abatido. So here we have three components. The first one, Alina, is, okay, I worked with collocations and I write arrastra los pies, o sea, drag your feet, fallen shoulders and head dropped. So I need to write these components probably, which is more than, I mean, specific features of some cognitive scenario which is attached to this use of this word. So one more time, I need new molecules. So the project that Cliff presented yesterday is very, very necessary for me and for us working with these words. And thank you. The next slide is just only to present you, to remind you this paper of Bert Peters and Giulia Marini of narrative medicine, which is very, very interesting. And thank you very much.